lying awake intently tuning in on you. If I was young, it didn't stop you.
Hi, Michael.
Hello again, everybody.
Welcome to our podcast.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Awesome 80s Podcast. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence.
Hi, how are you?
I'm delightful. How are you?
Fantastic.
Our time issues are causing a strain to our relationship, I think.
It's 2:32.
Right, but I 15 minutes before I'm online, I'm ready. I'm checking the hookups. I'm hooking the checkups. I put my big head up.
People want to hear about the Awesome 80s, Glenn. They don't want to hear about technical difficulties from our end of the end.
We had no technical difficulties. We had personnel issues. I just thought,
If I'm fired, you're fired.
I'm not. You're just getting a warning. This is a verbal warning. And then
Do I need to talk to Debbie from HR? Is that what says what's going to happen?
I'm just letting you know that's a possibility in the future.
That girl gets crazy at the Christmas party. That's all I'm saying.
With the copy machine?
I don't know. Whatever she's doing, just don't talk to my wife. Just whenever you talk to my wife, just don't say Debbie. Just don't say Debbie.
Yeah, they are really sensitive about Debbie.
I don't know. It's like there's like those girls out there that other girls just hate. Like they're born to be hated by other girls. And I think that's where Debbie falls in.
Weren't you gonna get us an intern? What happened?
God damn it! I thought you were gonna get us an intern. I got a baby.
No, you followed up with him, and then you said you were gonna follow up with him again.
Did our friend who is almost a doctor, not a doctor, but doctorate, did he come to your wrestling party?
No, he was ill or something.
Okay, all right, just checking. But he is a mass comm. I guess he's almost a doctor. I guess at the end of the semester, I guess he'll be right.
I think so.
Well, good for him.
Good for him. So last Saturday we did an awesome thing.
It was at the Fond du Lac Library in East Peoria, Illinois. We got to sit in with the people from the Drunken Zombie Podcast Network and do trivia and just reminisce about the Ghostbusters. We got to do like a live view of Ghostbusters, the original, and talk about what might happen with the next one and our fondest memories from Ghostbusters.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a good time. We thank our friends at the Drunken Zombie Podcast.
It's a podcast network. They've got multiple.
It's a network. They've I don't know if you've been following the Facebook chatter I've had with them. There have been overtures. Maybe they want us to join. I've just asked them where that money is, where that dough be. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not also say hello to MF Jones.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Motherfather Jones.
Also want to thank Doiner. He made a generous donation to us.
I don't think we thanked Doiner enough. We should have thanked him during the episode. I totally forgot. At the library.
I'm thanking him now.
Well, thank you, Doiner.
I did actually thank him during the episode. I did mention Doiner during that episode.
Did you listen to it? I haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't. How do I sound?
You sound okay.
What do you think would make me sound better?
A blue tube? Maybe get one of them blue tubes and put it on your head.
Well, but MF Jones is participating.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe a ball?
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I've actually been using the ball for quite some time now, just to see if you would notice. Like, not just today, like over the past few weeks. And you'll always be like, why don't you use the ball? I've actually been using it. It's been a long con to see like if one day you'd be like, oh, it sounds better. It's in your head.
Maybe it is in my head.
Like nothing is good enough for you.
Well, I've listened to the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast sometimes, and he talks about maybe men need to have selfish days where they get their pedicures and they get their manicures and they get their face. I want you to be at your best. That's what I'm trying to say.
You just complimented me on my pedicure last weekend.
I know. I was like, we were podcasting with the Drunken Zombie Podcast Network, and I looked down. I'm like, Glenn's toes look amazing. I'm pretty sure he got a pedicure because, yeah, you deserve to be pretty, Glenn. That's all I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
And your voice deserves to be pretty too.
I'm glad that you recognize that. At first, I was very flattered that you noticed my feet. Not a lot of people bring it up if they do notice, and I'm very flattered. The trick is you gotta You got to get the deluxe. It's an extra $10, but they do the sea salt massage, and they really work those calves. And I think when you're a guy, they give you a little extra because they don't have to do the color and everything.
Did you do like a clear coat or no?
Yeah, the clear.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I've noticed. I mean, especially with dudes, like they got funky feet, and sometimes you need people to scrub all that dead crap off your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike and Glenn's beauty tips.
So a few things, and we'll hop on into our show here, our movie. First, I am going on next Sunday. I'm going to go watch the Cubs of Chicago play, most likely. I was invited by one of our fans to go, and I want to thank him. Thank you, Casey. He's providing me with a ticket, and he arranged transportation. It really makes me feel special.
That's cool.
To be. I mean, I'm sure that you could buy a ticket somewhere, and maybe you could, we could wait. You go to games all the time without me. You never invite me. It hurts my feelings.
Like the 100th anniversary game, we also kind of were both in a long con with that one as well. They're like, how about that 100th anniversary game? Yeah, it's coming up. Yep. And then it turned out we both were going to the same game.
Both were going to the same game, did not tell each other because we're jerks.
Yeah, how about that game, man? I'm sitting over here. Where are you sitting?
I was in the right field bleachers. For my money, I'm now only right field. It was my first time ever sitting in the right field bleachers. For my money, that's where you go.
There's no right field.
2017 again, so you'll be able to have that experience. So a couple things wanted to just talk about. We have never done the movie Fletch. Is that something that you think we should do? Because I'd like to do Fletch sometime.
At some point, yeah, I'd like to do Fletch.
I mean, at some point. That to me saying we'll do Fletch when the right field bleachers open in a couple years.
We've got a lot on our plates right now, Glenn. A lot. I'm sure you're going to talk about it later. But we've got a lot of things coming.
Next Thursday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. No, next Thursday, Keith Coogan coming back to the show. We're going to review Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Very exciting. Very exciting to be doing that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. What do you think?
I think we're spoiled, and we're spoiling our fans because we don't deserve it. But he is gracing us with his presence. We do appreciate it.
Also, coming up soon, looks like we will be having an interview with the special effects director of Back to the Future to continue our Back to the Future 2K. I also, by the way, I did reach out to Michael J. Fox 2 nights ago. No word back.
The special effects director, he apparently he has like a giant presentation that is pretty awesome, and it's going to be I'm sure he'll talk about it, but it'll be on the Back to the Future cruise.
Awesome. Couple more things. Rhonda from Rhonda Up All Night. She may be ditching us.
Glenn, you can't. We can put sounders in the podcast, but you can't say that to her when she's on the show.
No, I know. Here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. She may be ditching us.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
I've not heard back, and maybe they're they got some stuff going on. We don't know, but that's something that we'll need to if it happens, it happens. We've been very fortunate with our guests. Not one has backed out yet, and we didn't have a solid agreement with her. We just had an understanding that she would hopefully be on the future date. And if it falls through, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We're just trying to bring you the best of 80s nostalgia here at theawesomeeighties.com.
Also, what do you think about around, just not like on the show, because on the show he's MF Jones, but when we're hanging out in the Awesome 80s offices, what do you think about we start calling MF Jones Pony Boy? It's just something that occurred to me this morning. I was like, where's Pony Boy? And now I kind of like it.
I think if you get people
so I'll have to watch the movie.
Okay. I don't know if you really want to waste your time.
If you get assigned to read the book, just go ahead and watch.
Yeah, that's how I had to read it in high school.
Okay.
So there's that. Also, real quick, want to mention the passing of Chicago Bears legend Doug Buffone on Monday. It was very upsetting. But were you affected by this at all?
I mean, if you listen to the score, you hear him every day, or at least during the Bears season, you hear him every day. So many people I hate this. I don't want to bash people on the radio, but there's so many people that kind of are dicks to callers, and he wasn't one of those people. Like people that aren't exactly sure what the hell they're going to say, and all of a sudden they get excited and they're on the radio. And they're like, but there's so many like DJs, especially in talk radio, especially like after watching The Fan, like that movie, Patton Oswalt, like so many radio DJs just take so much joy out of bashing people, and Buffon wasn't one of those people.
No, he just bashed the Bears.
Which is warranted.
He was like a nice version of Ron Santo.
Yeah.
With both legs. So there is a podcast I listen to every week, the Scarborough County. And on County, they have a gentleman right from Rochelle, Illinois, where we went to the car museum, named Daniel Van Kirk. He's a hilarious guy, and he's very good at voices. And he's really like just like an everyday Chicago. He's like a lot of guys I grew up with, like in the area, because he's very Chicago. And he does a Doug Buffon impression, and that is spot on. It's so good, and to the point where Doug Buffon like heard it on the score one day, and he left a voicemail for the host that they played on the show, and he was just like, I just got in my car and I'm on the radio. And I had to think, wait a minute, am I on the radio right now? But anyway, Daniel Van Kirk on today's edition of Scarborough County did a final version of Doug going to heaven. And it actually made me tear up. I was a little sad, but it was very well done. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Maybe later I could talk about it. Should I talk about my top that's and things of that nature?
Let's do that later because I have one top that as well.
Okay.
But let's delve into the movie that we're here to discuss.
Bon appetit. I just want to turn on the faucet and have water. I don't want to know where it's coming from. I am a tough, cold career woman who has absolutely nothing in common with a veterinarian from Haverville. Mother?
This week we will be discussing the 1987 classic Baby Boom with Miss Diane Keaton.
Are you happy?
Yes, good. Thank you, Glenn. So what made you want to do this movie, Glenn?
I was actually suggested by one of our listeners, Abby C.
Okay.
She was aware of your situation, where your wife was birthing another human being. And she said, hey, you guys should do Baby Boom. And I said, wow, I don't think I've watched that movie in 20 years. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I talked to you about it. And it was right before this thing was happening. And you're like, we should do Look Who's Talking. I was like, you're right. So we saved Baby Boom so we could bookend our absence of pregnancy with two baby movies. I had seriously not watched this movie in 20 years. And I watched it last night and I have opinions. I have lots of opinions.
You got opinions?
I have opinions. What did you like? Did the movie hold up to you?
I think it would hold up for my mom and maybe my sister.
Really?
Yeah.
I found it to hold up.
Okay, the whole time. Okay. But we get introduced to Diane Keaton with this voiceover narration talking about how she's a tiger, not a tiger mom. What is she said?
Tiger woman.
Tiger woman.
Well, but first, before that, we have your 80s typical Wall Street, New York opening. Yes. MF Jones said you got the intro music jamming for the exciting 80s business in the big city. Could not have said it better myself. You can speak. But you have the synthesized pop. Yeah. You have the crowded streets, the bustling and the hustle and bustle.
And you get these don't walk signs because you better fucking run because it's here to make millions.
Secret of My Success comes to mind. Yep. I know there are more. Just that's how if you want to show that this movie involves someone in business succeeding in the 80s, that's the opening you go for. Cocktail had something similar. So then you get the strong woman voiceover too. That was a strong woman voice telling you that J.C. Wyatt, the Tiger Lady, telling you that 53% of the American workforce are women. Times have changed. They've gotten out of the kitchen. We know that she lives with an investment banker.
They basically just have sex. I don't think they have like a real relationship is what I was getting at.
Well,
but
yeah, I completely agree. We would go through that.
Okay.
Pretty quickly, we learned that one of her assistants is on the FBI's top most wanted list, but he's currently secretly working with the FBI.
Inside this Fortune 500 company.
Inside this Fortune 500 company. His name is Red. James Spader, who currently is on the blacklist. The character
kind of slimy, but he's been slimier.
Yes. MF Jones this morning, while we were conversing about this, mentioned he's like, he played a dick. And I was like, in 80s James Spader world, this is like a mild dick compared to some of
especially like Pretty in Pink and Mannequin. Mannequin was very over the top and comedic. And I was also like Less Than Zero. He was also in Wall Street. And then he's, of course, playing Ultron in Avengers: The Age of Ultron.
Yes. And also, True Colors, he actually wasn't the dick. John Cusack was the dick. Okay. But there was a lot of dickishness going on.
It's okay.
So we find out pretty quickly J.C. Wyatt is a bitch.
She don't care. I mean, she'll work. She works 5 to 9 every day.
5 to 9. 5 to 9. She quickly we goes to a meeting with her boss, Fritz. Is that right?
Yeah, he's like this. I mean, he's the old white man. He plays old white man and everything.
Yeah. And Fritz basically, he wants her to be a partner. He wants her to achieve everything she can achieve within this company, as long as she basically pretends she doesn't have a vagina. That's basically what he's saying, right?
Yeah. If you've got a heart or feelings, we don't really want you as a partner. We really want we wanted you to be a slave to this corporate monster that we built.
We don't want you thinking about having babies.
No,
because that's going to make you weak.
Glenn, do you have a great desire to want to be a partner? Like, it's like if you were put in this situation, would you want to gotta be a partner?
Well, I guess if I'm in that situation she's in, then that's probably my goal.
Yeah.
To me, when I hear partner, I'm not going with what he describes. I'm going with playing golf on Fridays, even though I don't play golf.
I just assumed people that were bosses didn't work.
Right. I'm thinking I can have some whiskey or scotch in my office, like, in a nice decanter.
Yeah.
Someone comes in, that's to me, I can put my feet on my desk whenever I want. That to me is what a partner is. None of that bullshit he described where you're working 7 days a week, don't know your grandkid, how many grandkids you have. That's bullshit. That's not my ideal of partner. When this thing breaks good, this podcast, and I'm sitting at the top of Patrick Swayze Tower, that's what I call it. I'm going to have my feet on my desk, some scotch in my hand. I'm going to hold a cigar. Maybe I'll smoke it. Maybe I won't, but I'm definitely going to be holding it. MF Jones wants a cigar. That's what's going to happen.
I think we'll have to be next to each other, right, Glenn? Because we're going to rule as two kings. We're going to rule as two kings, and
we're going to rule as two kings.
And one won't be higher than the other one, Glenn. I don't see how you're.
Where in this situation did I elevate myself over you? Why are you projecting these insecurities?
At the top. I will be at the top. Maybe that shows differences in our personalities, Glenn. That's fine. Whatever.
No, I think we'll be even. I mean, just because you won't be as good looking as me and I'll age better doesn't mean that in the business sense we're not on the same level.
Okay, that's fine.
Your freaky red hair will scare off potential clients, so I may have to handle that aspect.
I guess my biggest fear if I was the boss, it should be the smell of prostitutes in your office. Like that would be my vision of being a partner of a Fortune 500 company.
So you think that the office should smell like prostitutes?
Well, where the limo, the town car,
not strippers, because that's a different smell.
That's you got to bring in a different cleaning. Like you got to bring in the wolf, like from Pulp Fiction, to come and do that cleaning. Like it's going to be a total different kind of cleaning situation.
Well, I would think prostitutes would smell worse, right? Because strippers,
yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean they have the Victoria's Secret Angel. You know, they all dump in a vat of it backstage.
So you don't have any grandiose. You don't want to be the president of, say, the company you work at. You're not like, I'm going to get in. I'm going to be president. I'm going to tell these people what to do.
There was like 10 years ago where I was like, I'm going to run that company. Not the company I currently work for, but I was like, I'm going to do that. Now I'm old, you know, and I realize how things work. Nope. I'm going to get in. I'm going to put my 40 in and I'm out.
I'm a big supporter of working women. I think that's totally cool. You know, I told my girlfriend, future wife, that I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad before we got married. I also got her a subscription to Working Mother magazine because you're gonna need that. I thought it was pretty funny. She did not think it was.
By the way, you have told me for years, even before you met your wife, that you wanted to be a stay-at-home dad someday. Like this has been your dream since we met.
I think I got pretty close to it because I'll have a 1 day on and then 2 days off. So I think that's pretty close.
I'm glad that my tax dollars are going so you can have 2 days off.
So Diane Keaton, she's Manhattan. Annie Hall, all of the Father of Brides movies, and I really like The Other Sister. Have you seen The Other Sister?
I don't think I have.
But pretty much anything my mom or my sisters watch, Diane Keaton's in it.
So Fritz basically breaks it down like this.
Yep.
A man can be a success and have a personal life because he's got a woman at home taking care of everything. A woman has to choose success over a personal life. That's what this guy is saying. You
can't have both, Glenn.
Right. And Diane Keaton's like, fuck that.
If you want both, you can take the dog food count.
So next we meet her boyfriend. As you stated earlier, why is your cat on the?
There's all these wires. He loves the wires. Get down.
Next we meet her boyfriend. He's an investment banker. As you said earlier, it's basically like they're just there out of convenience to like have someone to sleep next to and to have pedestrian sex with. That's it.
And who plays her boyfriend?
Harold Ramis.
Egon Spengler from Ghostbusters. I guess one of the fun facts was that this is the only movie he wasn't really involved in behind the camera. Like everything he was in, he's either directing, he was writing, or producing. And this was the only movie he's like, sure, I'll just act.
Bye, wife. You
Bye,
just
wife.
watched this movie for the first time last night. Do you want to? How was it? She said it was okay. That did not sound like it. She enjoyed
it, but whatever. It's still fun to revisit, though.
Screw you all. Bye, wife. That's my wife.
So we get the day in the life of her, and then she gets a phone call in the middle of the night from
Cousin Andrew died. Oh, real quick, Harold Ramis wore a mud mask to bed. I didn't want to.
That was so awesome.
What do we got over here?
So Harold Ramis wore a mud mask.
He passed up the handshake.
Oh, did she have a handshake?
At the very beginning, as she walked in,
Yeah.
She had that impressive handshake. The guy had to shake it off.
Like Taylor Swift style.
Well.
But yeah, she was very managed that she had a meeting on the steps before she went into her corporate headquarters, and the guy had to shake his hand because her handshake was so strong.
Shake it off. Shake it off. All right. So, yes, she gets a call in the middle of the night. Cousin Andrew died. She inherited something. Long distance connection. We don't know how it's going to be. We don't know what she inherited. She's got to go to JFK the next day, pick up this millions of dollars or this pin or whatever thinks she is. She gets to JFK and she inherited an Elizabeth.
She's a very agreeable child. Just take her for an hour or so.
I will say Elizabeth seemed very well behaved.
I mean, especially like those handed to those parents are British. I mean, the manners and everything, they're very agreeable child. Nice.
So she doesn't want a baby. So me, she's like, I got to put it up for adoption. But I'm just gonna have to deal with this.
But she does introduce the baby to her boss at the restaurant. This is the boss above the boss. Is that correct?
No, this is a client.
Oh, it's a client. That's right.
They're wooing. And he's the guy who basically plays like a boss and everything, right?
Yeah.
The 80s.
Mhm.
He wasn't in Working Girl. I don't know. It'll come. He was a boss in a lot of movies.
One thing that stuck out to me was that when she was at the fancy restaurant, she was trying to hand over the baby to the coat check girl. She
Give
just,
her Visa.
yeah, she's like, take my credit card, figure it out. Because that's what all that matters is just here. I'll throw enough money at you, and it doesn't.
You'll do whatever I say, because this is the 80s and cash is king. So yeah, she tried to check her with the coat people. She's having lunch with the head of every leader of a company in the 80s. And it doesn't go well because the baby's kind of interrupting. She doesn't know how to be a mother. She doesn't know how to have a baby handle. I will say, I'm not going to go into it, but I met my son not in the beginning when most people do, but just a few months later under weird circumstances. And when that happened, I didn't know anything about taking care of a child. So me and MH basically watched the first weekend I had my son, basically watched every 80s baby movie that we could. 3 Men and a Baby, all these different 80s baby movies. And that's kind of how I learned my parenting style the first few weeks. So, and Baby Boom was on that list. I think that's probably the last time I saw it. So that was like 15 years ago, not 20.
Yeah, the poop and the diapers, it gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It gets everywhere. One thing I thought was kind of funny, she was kind of rough with the baby. She was like holding the baby like upside down, and then she was weighing the baby in the grocery aisle.
Yeah, you gotta weigh it in the produce scale.
Yeah.
And did it seem a little weird that the diapers aisle was directly next to like the produce deli bread aisle? I just thought it was a little weird.
What we could do is we could contact our resident grocery store expert, Dre, from the Old School Wrestling Podcast, and he could maybe shed some light on why that is. But we won't do that now. We'll save that for when we do our supermarket sweep podcast. So the baby surprises Harold Ramis.
And he's there just reading his magazine. All of a sudden, the baby just pops up and he freaks out, jumps up in the air. It's fun to see Harold Ramis freak out. And then they eventually feed the baby linguine. Is that what it is?
Linguine, bad idea.
At what point when did you start letting Jake feed himself?
Oh God, I have no idea. Here's the thing: is you don't remember anything.
Okay,
you'll figure
I know I got a child. That's what I know. That's
you'll forget all. But yeah, they fed Linguini. They watched Carson with the baby.
Yes. Is it okay to use electrical tape to repair problems with your disposable diapers?
I would have went with duct tape first, but if you didn't have duct tape, electrical tape's fine.
Okay, good.
It's not sticky. It's not sticky. But she does. She puts her up for adoption.
And it seems like she's very verbal about this. Everywhere she goes, she's like thinking out loud with everyone she goes to. She goes and talks to Jesus, the guy at the baby store, which she buys
at FBO Sports. So
really nice meeting you today, but I don't know if you're making the right decision about this baby or not. It's like
she does a really good job of guilt buying. So now, like, she files the adoption papers. She feels guilty, so she goes and spends like $3,000 at FAO Schwartz on clothes and toys. So now she feels better about it. Like, oh, okay, I can put up for adoption now. It's fine.
It's an 80s movie. I just need a credit card.
So then
she goes to the adoption agency. She's ready to go.
Right, but first there's a scene that night where you hear piano music and you can tell that means like she's getting feels. Like when you hear the piano music, there's feels.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna go. Yeah, she's putting her up. She's gonna go meet the new parents. She's gonna hand her over. Done deal. Out of my life.
It turns out she didn't want to give Elizabeth to these people because they're a little too backwoods.
They're from Duluth. They want to name the baby Fern.
It kind of seems like either what my grandfather or his father thought of children as like employees. You know, like I could get some work out of this kid.
The wife calls the husband Sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, she doesn't want to have a Fern.
She was not letting her grow up and working at some Dairy Queen.
So
she made the right
the thing I thought was it was kind of a very honest scene. I mean, something you probably don't see in real life, but actually ends up in like an explosive thing that normally happens in real life. But she goes and meets Egon Spengler at the train station when
before she does that, she once again goes and guilt buys stuff. You don't like they don't show her, but she comes out of like another store with stuff, and you're like, oh, more guilt buying.
If I'm having emotions, I should just spend more money.
So, well, she should spend money on Elizabeth because that's how the young child will know that she's loved.
Yes.
So, yeah, then she meets Egon Spengler there at the train station, and she's just like, I can't do it. I'm keeping her. And Egon's like, mad respect for that. Peace. I'm gone.
The reasons why we have to have the kinds of totals that are in the budget.
Do you mind? I'm trying. JC, please.
I don't know what to do.
All right, I'll handle
All
this.
right, stop it. Fine, please.
Elizabeth, now listen. It is 11:53, and it's time for you to go to sleep. It's late. We both have a lot of work to do, and we need some peace and quiet.
Elizabeth, grow up. I have to be at a conference in Boston tomorrow, and I need to concentrate, okay? Now, I want you to lie down, close your eyes, and stop crying by the time I count to 3. Don't shake your head no at me, Elizabeth. I'm speaking to you.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Worked. All right, now just kiss Uncle Stephen goodnight. Huh? Ow! Jesus! What? She bit me!
So yeah, he was very honest in his relationship with her, and he didn't. I mean, you could see like in real life how this would just explode. Like, oh, I'm okay with the kid, and then they would just one day he just wouldn't come home from work.
MF Jones has pointed out that CEO of every '80s big company was Commissioner Gordon in the Batman movies.
Oh, that was him. Okay, yeah.
He was in Brewster's Millions, if you remember. So yeah, he did some work. But yeah, so Spengler's out. Just not what he wanted. You know why? Because his life, they're not the type of people who buy vacation homes, because vacation homes are for people who take vacations.
Exactly. So while they were together, she was constantly circling all these homes in Vermont she'd like to buy or visit one day. But where she's at her Fortune 500 company, she's going to try to make it work. She wants to have both.
So after the breakup, we get the first of many montages in this movie. We get some smooth 80s jazz, and there is nothing like 80s jazz, like 80s movie jazz. That's what 80s movie jazz. It represents a time.
Lethal Weapon.
Before our Tequila Sunrise.
Sunrise, yeah.
So,
puppy. My cat didn't bark. That's all I'm saying, Glenn. My cat didn't bark.
Sorry, Jake's home. Thank you, Emma.
Oh, hey, Jake. How you doing?
So,
I guess the thing that pops out to me is when she takes him to these the park, and she finds these other like they're more tiger moms than they are tiger women. She wants to catch her kid up with all these different preschool programs. Did Jake go to preschool?
No, we were very fortunate enough to have a relative who watched him every day, which is a huge savings in money. You'll find out someday.
There is there's this wave. I'm a new parent. There's this wave on teach my baby to read DVDs. Do you think it felt like this was a very similar, like if that was out in the 80s, that would be part of this accelerated program that Elizabeth was taking with her mom in these teens.
Absolutely. Now you'll find Young Einstein. That's the way to go for
Baby Einstein.
Baby Einstein. Yeah, Young Einstein's a Yahoo series,
which was.
I think it's a great movie. I think it's fantastic.
So
and historically correct.
So she gets broken up with. We have the smooth jazz. She blows a partner meeting because of the baby, which basically at this point, this is what we'll say about work. Because there's a lot of repetitiveness in what they do to prove their point. She constantly now is ditching work or not doing well at her job because the baby is taking up her time, which is obvious that would happen. So then she makes the decision to hire a nanny. She does some interviews. We have a possible occult lady. We have a psychotic lady, a crazy woman named Helga.
A Middle Eastern lady?
German.
Oh, there was another lady.
Yeah. The Middle Eastern lady. You're right. Very racist, by the way. That would not fly.
Over the top racist.
And then Victoria Jackson. Everyone loves bubbly Victoria Jackson. So we love
Victoria Jackson from SNL, from Pickup Artist, from Casual Sex.
That's the one. So Earth Girls Are Easy. Can't forget Earth Girls Are Easy.
She's in Earth Girls Are Easy. Okay.
Wasn't she?
We should see that one too. We should.
Sometime. We'll do it sometime.
I would rather do Earth Girls Are Easy before Fletch.
I would rather use.
You need not. We can talk about this off air.
Fine. So Victoria Jackson loses her job quickly. Why?
She met a man at the park. She wanted to bang. I mean, that's what I do. Just meet people at the park, bring them home, bang, ready to go. At least in the single days, right?
Right. That's how it does.
Boom.
Now, if this was a different type of movie, Victoria Jackson would have showed her boobs. She had no problem with that.
Okay.
Now she's some crazy white right-wing nut job.
I thought in Casual
people, she's just a nut job.
In Casual Sex, you see her boobs? I thought you did.
Yeah, she did Playboy.
Oh yeah.
I remember them titties. So she has to end up hiring Helga. During this time that her work is being impacted, Kenny/Red, he's getting moved up the ladder. James Spader he sees an area to attack. He's going to take his mentor down because the only thing you can do in the 80s is screw people over to get to the top. Wall Street taught us that. Also starring James Spader.
He comes into her office and he is sitting there like he's ruling the world. Like when I'm sitting on my throne at Tower of Patrick Swayze, you're going to come in and be all judgy about me. That's the way she was.
So, there's another montage. Like I said, this movie has a lot of montages, and that's what you were referring to earlier. That's where they're at the center, which is the learning annex for these young children, doing flashcards of Whoopi Goldberg and John Kennedy and Nancy Reagan. I don't know, whatever.
Real quick, the director is it Charles Shire and Nancy Myers. They were married, and they worked on Private Benjamin, Smokey and the Bandit, Protocol, Father of the Bride films together, and then of course the best film ever, Jumping Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. So
that's
I thought that was
what we should do. I'm just saying.
Add it to the list.
All right. So Ken officially gets assigned her account. She gets the dog food account, and she's like, I can't do the dog food account.
I don't give a shit about dog food.
He goes, well, the choice is yours. It's then implied that she quits. Rather quickly, she's driving a car to Vermont.
She has been wanting this house or a house like this forever, but she is just so career driven. But now she's got no career. She's got the money. Let's do it. Let's move to Vermont. Let's go pick 3,000 apples in one day.
For a pie.
For a pie. Right. One pie. So the house is kind of a money pit. I'm glad they didn't focus too much on it. They just gave you the drift. The roof's crap. The well's dry.
Yeah. The one thing I kind of felt like at this point it became like a smushing of two different 80s movies, like Funny Farm and Money Pit, like together a little bit. One thing I thought the guy, I can't remember, I didn't look up the guy's name, but the guy that played the guy, he is a man about town. The workman that came in and gave her the estimate about the roof, the well, and the plumbing. He also plays the alto sax in the town band. I don't know if you guys saw.
I didn't look this up either, but was he not in Groundhog's Day as in the band?
I thought he was in Groundhog's Day. I thought he was in Funny Farm. Like, he's just one of those guys.
He was in Funny Farm.
What a god!
If there's a small town movie, that guy's in it.
He's got one of those faces. He looks like an aw shucks kind of guy, but he was he the stutterer in The Great Outdoors.
Yes, he was. I think he was.
He was. I was like, I think that. I'll check. I'll double check. Okay.
All right. So she kind of freaks out on the handyman, like just has a breakdown. She then gets taken to the town doctor, where she kind of freaks out on him because she finds out he's a vet, played by the dreamy Sam Shepard. We'll talk about it. So she kind of just has these breakdowns, and she just wants to get out, move back to New York as soon as possible. That's when she finds out her house has been on the market for how many years, MF Jones?
5.
5 years, not even a nibble. So there's almost no chance she's going to be able to sell this money pit in Vermont.
That's why you're getting an inspection.
You got to get an inspection. Why? That's why this movie is not whatever. I got other issues. So, she wants to sell the house, but in the meantime, she's kind of, she's just kind of stuck.
She's stuck. I mean, she's started canning fruits. Remember, Glenn, botulism, it's a real thing. I'm not just saying it. It's a real thing. Okay.
It is. By the way, if you hear flush, my son has just texted asking permission to flush because he doesn't want to interrupt. That's the dedication my family has to this.
I don't have that dedication. I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of dedication.
And now I think he's upset that I just mentioned it because he can hear it. Love you.
I love you, Dad.
What did you say?
Okay.
Screw you.
Britt Leach.
Okay, he did.
Glenn.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Focus.
Britt Leach, the towny guy from Baby Boom. He played Reg in The Great Outdoors. He was in Weird Science. He was in Father of the Bride, Quantum Leap, Coach, multiple episodes of Murder, She Wrote, L.A. Law. And he was Insane Elsewhere, Fame. This guy was everywhere. Last Starfighter, Newhart, everywhere. Fantastic guy. Britt Leach. He didn't have a picture. He was great.
I know he didn't have a picture because I tried to find him last night and I gave up.
I was like, what the fuck, dude?
So she starts canning applesauce. She takes it to the general store. A bunch of yuppies come in and they love it because yuppies love applesauce.
It's all natural. It's homemade. It's $2, $3.50, $4.50, $5.50, $5.50.
They even like the container.
Did you see the picture I posted to our Facebook page last night?
Yeah.
That was Chris Mother effing Noth. From Big, the original Law and Order detective.
The guy from Law and Order. Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah.
Good Wife. I did not recognize him. My mind was blown. He wanted to get a flannel. His girlfriend said no. Just get a.
You can get that from Jake Brew for 3 times as much or whatever.
Yeah. So Chris motherfucking no. But anyway, she starts
on and off. She's been having this relationship with Sam Shepard because she passes out. She could tell she's the only one within his age demographic, and he seeks her out. She seeks him out a couple times, but it's still nothing's formal at this point.
Have we discussed Sam Shepard's relationship to our town on this podcast before?
I don't.
He was arrested here about 4 years ago.
Oh, God damn it. He likes to have a good time, Glenn.
He had a good time at one of our local imbibing establishments, and he drove a little drunk. Apparently left his dog in a car for several hours, trying to get back to the hotel, had a little scotch, got arrested. Got popped, if you will. Baseball player Dimitri Young also got popped at our airport for trying to take drugs on a plane. I remember that.
Really? Did Macho Man get arrested, or was it just hospital?
No, he went to the hospital.
Macho Man.
He fell in the shower and broke his arm at the Redbird Arena.
Sure. I believe that, Glenn. I believe that.
So she basically finds out she's the talk of the town.
Yes.
Because of her breakdowns. But also during this time, what she does is she starts throwing all of her Tiger Woman energy into learning how to make successful products. And she knows about branding and strategy, but she wants to, really make the go of Country Baby. Right?
Country Baby, yeah.
Country Baby.
Country Baby. I guess possibly based on Vermont Baby. Organic.
Oh, was that a thing? Was that a thing?
Yeah, and then the one thing I thought was kind of funny, it just, I think if I would have loved this movie if it was dumber. Like once she quit the job, it could have been dumber. Like, or just like, there's kind of like in the John Hughes movie. I mean, it's not officially John Hughes movie. It's She's Having a Baby. She's Having My Baby. The one with Kevin Bacon. He does this stupid over the top stuff over and over again. It's very comedic. It's very slapstick. It's a throwback to the 30s and 40s, like slapstick comedies, like Bringing Up Baby, Philadelphia Story, things like that. It just felt like the only one thing they really do is the money falling from the sky. You're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? This is totally off character for the entire movie.
You mentioned that she and Dr. Charm have this kind of love-hate relationship. At one point, she's on the side of the road, flat tire. Dr. Charm comes out to help her out. And she's basically being a bitch. He confronts her about it. Why aren't you? And then he pulls the Sam Malone. Just grabs her and kisses her. He does.
That's what a man does. Or rapists.
I don't know if I called him Dr. Charm or if he's referenced in the movie.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Sam Shepard, he was in The Right Stuff in the 80s. And he was in Steel Magnolias, but recently he was in Mud. He with Matthew McConaughey. But he plays the patriarch in the Bloodlines television show.
I'm actually looking forward to starting to watch that.
I think it's pretty good. I think I've been watching a lot of series with the Lady Baby. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. So we do a Country Baby montage. Then there's a really quick scene to basically establish that she's kind of a townie now. And we go right back into another Country Baby montage. There's like 45 seconds of screen time that separate two separate montages about the same thing.
I wrote down 3 things about montages, and the last one was an incredible number of montages for a movie like this.
Yes, it really is. I mean, Rocky IV, that's a montage movie.
Yeah,
this
I was like,
a montage movie.
It didn't even have Sylvester Stallone in it.
Right? She goes to the town dance, which I wrote, Groundhog's Day, Son-in-Law, all these small town movies, you got to have a town dance with the same actors on stage. She slow dances and then she goes home and she bangs Dr. Charm.
Yes. I wanted to mention again that Britt Leach was playing the alto sax. He's a man. He doesn't just do tinkering. He's got a heart. He creates as well.
Every town has one. Every small town has one of those. So then she gets the call the next morning.
Oh, she was also very over the top about the last time she's had intimate times also. She was very forward with that information.
Disturbing amount. Which wasn't that long ago because she did it with Egon in the beginning of the movie.
I know.
So she's Fritz calls, man. She's feeling back on top. She shows up. They want a food chain wants to buy Country Baby. So she shows up, and this is where this movie loses every fucking ounce of credibility to me. And I'm going to tell you what happens. First, she shows up. The partner who never even remembered her offers a teddy bear for the baby. That's fine. They're trying to suck up. They offer basically $1 million deal for her. She still gets to run the company. She doesn't own it.
It was like $3 million up front and then $1 million a year.
Use of the private jet,
the perks, yep.
All the perks, everything she wants, vacation, done. She's got it. All she has to do is sign over the company. She wants to do it. She goes to the bathroom. She's all in. And then you can see she's getting feels about it. That's fine. The movie would have sucked if she then sold it out to the people who already got rid of her. But then she gives a speech. about women's empowerment, about her happiness. Do you have something written down? I want to see if it was
but just the speech was kind of over the top.
Okay, and I'm even okay with the over the top speech because this is obviously an over the top movie. But then she says, after explaining all of these justifiable reasons that she doesn't want to sell the company, she said, "And I'm dating the local vet." So you're going to tell me that you're making a movie about women's empowerment. Women can do business. Women can start their own companies. Women can go in and turn down a multi-million-dollar offer because it's her passion. It's what's the right thing to do. She should keep running this. Oh, and I'm dating the town vet. Completely lost all fucking credibility. Take that line out. That means she's going to stay because of a girl crush over a man? Come on!
I guess to me, in the perfect world, she wouldn't have turned it down. She would have taken it and created her own thing with it. Like she would have created a more female-friendly, mother-friendly environment for this new business that they're offering her, and and encourage that or introduce that system into the current system as well at the Fortune 500 company.
Okay, I agree with that, but then you're adding another 35 minutes minimum, and you're taking the movie yet again into a completely different direction.
Totally different direction. And then montage.
Dr. Dreamy can't leave Vermont.
No.
Dr. Charm, Dr. Dreamy. Oh, I don't want to say it. I don't want to. Never mind. Very, very big things happened on television last night. Anyway, no spoilers here. So, yeah, that totally took me out of this movie.
Yeah.
She's just like, I met a guy, and she got all like schoolgirly about it, and I was just like, fuck no, you're supposed to be lifting women up. You can't do things. This whole movie is about how you are an independent woman, and then you throw it all away by mentioning in your speech that you met a guy. So now every guy in that room who's just heard everything you said forgot all of it, and all they are thinking is this dumb broad's not selling to us because of some vet.
I knew our dicks were magic.
Hey, did you see Scientific Study? The average size has shrunk. So
that's good,
buddy.
It's good then. One thing I thought was it was kind of a heartfelt moment was like before she was gonna make it big. I mean, with the baby, she leaves to go get her balls back in New York, and then she looks at the baby for the moment, and the baby's just like, "Where the fuck you going?" Like in that face, she gave her that, "Where the fuck you going? You need to be here," which is nice. You know, she puts her family first. It felt like the movie could have been goofier. Like there's that scene with the.
You wanted Funny Farm, is what you wanted.
Yeah, they were more of like
goat balls.
Yeah, well, mountain oysters. But like, there's that moment where she has like the Nazi. She's got this date the lady that watches the kids all day. Helga, yeah, she watches her all day, and then she looks at the paper and she's like, "Kidnapping's up for children." Like it should have been goofier. It should have been more over the top.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I go with you on that. But anyway, so she goes home. She kisses Sam Shepard. She kisses her daughter. End of movie. Yeah, everything you said's valid. I mean, I think it holds up, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't.
I don't know. But
it's not something I'm going to watch again in the next 5 years.
I mean, she's having my baby. Freaking. Oh, what are the other ones? Like
3 Men and a Baby.
Like I put those head and shoulders above this one.
Yeah, I agree. But I enjoyed revisiting it. Also, did you notice who played her secretary?
Oh yes, I did. Miss Herman from Troop Beverly Hills.
Yes.
No relation to Pee-wee though.
No relation. In fact, she is related to Alex P. Keaton's father, Michael Gross.
It is Mary Gross.
Mary Gross is her name, yes.
She was in Feds. She was in SNL.
Club TV, right?
Yeah, I think she was in SNL for a season 2. She played.
Oh, Alpha. Yeah, she was. You're right.
Alpha for a while. When Eddie Murphy was doing the Wookum Panub and all the wrong places, whatever.
Hey, is it time to take your pill, old man?
I got to go move my sprinkler because I got my sprinkler on a system right now, so I'm watering the seeds. Yeah, and she was also in Casual Sex as well.
Yeah, there you go. Any thoughts on the movie, MF Jones?
I think that was it.
All right.
To me, it's like the definition of like a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon movie. Like, well, it's on. Okay.
It's on TV. Let's just kick back, watch it, maybe take a nap through half of it, wake up, finish it. We're good.
As a lot of the movies that we do the reviews for this podcast, I have not seen a lot of them. And this one I watched last night, it was worth downloading.
Yeah. You know what? If you haven't watched it for a while, it's worth rewatching. Just skip over that last part of her fucking speech. It angered me. I can't tell you how angered I was. So let's move on. You have some top dads, Michael.
Well, I wanted to start a different segment. Shit me and the lady baby watch together when I'm just with the daughter. I've started watching. They got the first season of *Halt and Catch Fire*, the AMC show, on the Netflix. It's pretty good. I mean, it's from the 80s. It's kind of about the birth of the personal computer. They've got a lot of 80s references. They got a lot of different styling stuff, a lot of different products. They've got Cabbage Patch Kids. To a certain extent, it's kind of like Mad Men, but for the 80s. Like, it has this Lee Pace. He plays Joe McMillan. He's kind of like the Don Draper for this show. And he's a sociopath, a crazy person, and unhappy. It basically takes place in the 80s instead of the 60s. There's also Scoot McNairy. He plays Gordon Clark. He's kind of like the 80s. I've been watching. This gives me a segue into shit my wife makes me watch. He kind of plays the Peggy. Have you watched Mad Men? Are you a Mad Men fan?
No, I will. Well, Peggy, she kind of plays the everyman,
and that's kind of what Scoot McNairy is. And then his wife, Carrie Brichet.
What is this show again?
It's called *Halt and Catch Fire*. I got one more episode done, and then I'll be done with this season. She plays Gordon Clark's. He's the main character. He plays his wife, and she's kind of a secondary character, but she's just as smart as her husband. She's very empowering. She's a very empowered woman in this program called *Halt and Catch Fire*. But they also play. I think they play husband and wife in Argo as well. I just want to sum up for the shit my wife makes me watch. We watched a lot of Mad Men. We've been rewatching Mad Men. We're all caught up on Mad Men. I don't know. I really hope Don Draper dies of gonorrhea and goes straight to hell. I don't want him to be happy at all.
Go fuck yourself.
He's just a big scumbag. 5 episodes left. We'll see what happens. I don't think a guy like that deserves to be happy. Oh, and also we watched me and Lady Baby. We watched Derek, the Ricky Gervais show.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. There's a heartfelt scene where they have to put a dog to sleep. It is so. I'm like, oh god. And he plays. I don't know what heaven's going to be like, Clint, but my dog better fucking be there. I'm pretty excited. My dog's.
I'm going to give you some parenting advice. Watch as many inappropriate shows with the Lady Baby now, because you only have like 6 months of that, and then they start knowing things.
That brings me to this other show. Have you watched You're the Worst or I'm the Worst? It's on FX or FXX or FXXX. It's about this couple. They have sex.
I watched Married, which was on before it.
Okay.
Which, if you watched Married?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's great. I did not watch You're the Worst. Yeah, I watched part of the first episode, and I was just like, nah.
Are they going to get a second season for either of those shows?
Married is. I don't know about You're the Worst.
Well, there's a show. There's a British show that I started watching on Netflix. It's called Scrotal Recall.
Oh, I'll just wait till America badly remakes it in 5 years.
It's got this guy, Dylan, and he finds out he has chlamydia, and he has to go and find all the women he's had sex with, and it's all like past tense leading up to this big marriage, this big wedding, and he has to go tell everyone that he has chlamydia, all his past sexual partners, and it is very over the top. But I mean, that show on FX, I'm the worst. You're the worst. It's very raunchy. It's very similar to that, except it feels like the Scrotal Recall, even though it has a worse name. It has a lot more heart, a little more family friendly. Like, I'd show Scrotal Recall to my mom before I'd show I'm the Worst or whatever the fuck it's called.
All right. Okay. I got a couple top sets. Are you done?
Go ahead, Glenn.
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
Do you have more?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah.
I appreciate you asking me.
No problem.
Okay, good.
So I found out about something today I've never heard of before. In fact, it's because it's new. There's currently a website that is being developed for this. It's something I think that you and I might end up doing at some point. It's called the League of Leagues. It is fantasy sports. Why did I say sports? because it incorporates baseball, football, and basketball. It is a year-round fantasy league where you have a draft each year, and you draft from all of these. So you could trade like LeBron James for Clayton Kershaw. You could do whatever you wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
And it's the website they're doing now only has a Google Doc explaining it. However, by the fall, they're hoping to have like everything up where it like helps you with the scoring and everything. It sounds like I would just become obsessed with this. Like I'm a little afraid of it.
Like if I lived in a town where they had like a legal sports book, I could definitely see myself getting into that.
How many hours is that draft? That's got to be like a 12-hour draft, right?
This seems very similar to like, I mean, it would push the same neurons, like it would fire the same things in your brain as like actual gambling for me. I think I'd really enjoy that.
Yeah. Also, real quick, so that's my top, or that's my, because I had never heard of it. I just found out about it. I've already done some research on it. We may be talking in the fall once their website gets going. Like you could do it now, but they're actually, because they use ESPN, they like basically have modified the ESPN's website to do this, but they're going to actually have their own in the fall, and that's something I don't know. We'll talk. I do want to 2 quick reminders.
You could advertise it somewhere, Glenn.
Yeah, that's there you go.
We got a Facebook.
2 quick reminders. The Goldbergs. If you're not watching the Goldbergs and you listen to this show, stop yourself. Go watch the Goldbergs. So damn good.
I could just get so pissed off. I'm like, these fucking people are awesome.
I know.
So jealous. So jealous.
Also, please, I know that more than 27 people listen to this show. I know because I see the numbers. I see the numbers.
Well,
Glenn
likes to crunch numbers. I like to sit on the crown of Patrick Swayze Towers. It's fine. Go ahead, Glenn.
If you listen to this show and you have not gone to iTunes and left us a review, I will walk to your house, and for every step I take, I will punch you in the face. For every single one. If you live in California, I will walk to California from Illinois, and I will punch you. I will count every step I take and punch you in the face. If you give us a 3 or a 4 or anything below that, that's fine. Just list why. Give us a comment why. Don't be a cowardly asshole and say 2 and then not tell us why. We've never had a rating that low. But I just want to know why so we can improve it. I'm not mad at you. I am mad at you if you don't go on there and listen to this free entertainment and don't give us a damn review. We're trying to get guests, people, and 27 reviews isn't cutting it. By the way, if you're the person who left us one 2 weeks ago, thank you. My pleasure.
We do appreciate it. Also, I did want to talk about.
I did that. I brought it back.
Okay, good. Mr. Rizzo with his thousands of posts on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Articles about Alan Rickman couldn't have been in Die Hard. We're gonna have stuff about I guess Last Man on Earth. It's gonna hit number 2. It's gonna get a second season.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. That's awesome.
And of course, Full House is coming back, but they're gonna call it like Fuller
House on Netflix.
You think that'll be it? That's a good name, Fuller House.
Whatever, fuck it.
This is all news brought to you by Mr. Rizzo. We do appreciate it. He loves the Daredevil. Britt Cotney also posted something on Facebook about the Daredevil. He loves it.
Yes, and the Gremlins is being rebooted, not remade.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that another time.
I guess there's somebody recut Night Court into a Daredevil scene.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey Jake, Last Man on Earth got renewed. What? They're gonna make a second season of your favorite show. Not the excitement I anticipated.
Oh, I wish I had a better recording of that so I could play it constantly. Like,
oh, don't worry. You'll be hearing your child's lack of enthusiasm about things. That you
say, hey, we're going to the ball game. You love the Cubs. No, I don't.
We got that on the snowball, Mike. We can edit it in post.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jake, I got us tickets to Weird Al. I'm going to take you to the first concert. That was my first concert. Oh, okay. Whatever.
Oh.
Okay. So, my name's Lawrence.
This is Michael.
This is MF Jones.
Stay awesome, everybody.
Awesome.
Game over, man. Game over.
Let's get out of here! Like now!
Oh, Mr. Hyde.
Au revoir! Au revoir, baby! Au revoir, Simone!
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's Miller time.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.